Remember the bump stock ban from the Trump administration? Well, it has been struck down by a 6-3 Supreme Court decision. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the Supreme Court striking down the Trump era quote unquote bump stock ban in a 6-3 decision with Justice Clarence Thomas writing the lead opinion. And in a nutshell, what he said was, although some people think that a bump stock changes a semi-automatic rifle into a fully automatic machine gun, when you look at the definition of what a machine gun is and what the bump stock actually does, it doesn't quite match up. A bump stock can help you increase the rate of fire on a semi-automatic pistol or rifle or whatever it is, but it cannot make your gun into a machine gun. That's just not the reality. So the ban has been struck down by the Supreme Court. And this is a great day for America, great day for gun owners, great day for the Second Amendment, because even if you're not a bump stock user, you think they're corny, you think they're gimmicks, you think they're trash, that's fine. But that's not even the point. The point is that those who want to destroy Second Amendment rights in this country, who want to confiscate your weapons, they try to do things by just death by a thousand cuts. Okay, you can't have a bump stock. You can't shoulder your pistol. It fits below a certain barrel length, and you can't have this kind of stock on the back. You got to have that kind of stock. It's all kind of little things. California magazine restrictions, 10 rounds in a rifle magazine. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? You got 4 or 5 armed intruders busting into your house in Los Angeles. Here you are with just 10 rounds in your rifle. What are you going to do? I'm going to need at least 30 to fight off all these hooligans trying to burst into my home. And I might need 100, but 30 for their ergonomics. You know, I need to be able to move around, and, 10 rounds, it's dumb, but that's how they do. Death by a thousand cuts to discourage you from having a gun at all. This is a great day. Now, you may not know how a bump stock works. What I want to do is show you a demonstration. Shout out to Jerry Rig Everything. This video is from a few years ago. This is back in 17. So this is quite a while ago. But the spirit of what he's talking about is the same today. So this is him using the bump stock, and he's going to show you slowly how it actually operates.
So watch here as my hand pulls forward on the barrel of the gun. This brings the trigger up to my stationary trigger finger. My finger never moves, but still connects with the trigger due to the forward motion of the gun. The gun then fires, and the recoil brings the gun back to my stationary finger over and over, causing the trigger to be pulled again and again.
So you see that is each time a bullet comes out of the gun, his finger has to still pull the trigger. But the bump stock, what it does is it takes the recoil energy and it enables the gun to move so his finger that's stationary can hit the trigger. Now, again, some say this is what a machine gun does, but not quite. Not quite. I saw a test where somebody had this and it was like half of the firing rate. A machine gun, like fully automatic, is a whole different beast. This is a cool little gadget, but it's not the same as fully auto. It's not like having a switch on the back of your Glock pistol. Not even anywhere close. All right. Now you see, here's an article: Supreme Court rejects ban on Trump era gun bump stocks. Okay, so you see, that's probably one right there. Little bump stock action. All right, and then I think this was an issue because of the Vegas situation. All right, I was looking at some old videos of this before I did this video, and there was a whole big segment on bump stocks for the Vegas thing, and they were saying they think the Vegas shooter may have had a bump stock because one of his weapons that they confiscated had a bump stock on it. And also, when you're hearing the rate of fire in the video, it doesn't sound consistent, but it sounds rapid, or more rapid than him just pushing the trigger every time. You see what I'm saying? So they thought that he had a bump stock. So In the mind of the government, how smart they are, they think, okay, let's just ban bump stocks and we won't have any more mass shootings to the scale of what happened in Las Vegas, which is ridiculous. I mean, you get mass shootings with fully automatic weapons all the time, but because they're not at a country bar or a school or something like that and nobody cares. But that's a different story, and not digress. Let's keep on going here. So you see what it says. It was a 6-3 vote. Split along party lines, of course. Justice Clarence Thomas, writing for the majority, found that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives had exceeded its power when it prohibited the device, an attachment that enables a semi-automatic rifle to fire at a speed rivaling that of a machine gun. I don't know about the rivaling part. Okay, I don't know about that, but that's people have their opinion, and it's fine. The agency, he added, had overstepped in issuing a rule that classified bump stocks as machine guns. Quote, we hold that a semi-automatic rifle equipped with a bump stock is not a quote-unquote machine gun because it cannot fire more than one shot by a single function of the trigger. He included several diagrams of the firing mechanism in the opinion. The decision was a forceful rejection of one of the governor's few steps to address gun violence, particularly as legislative efforts have stalled in Congress. It also highlighted the deep divisions on the court over the issue as the country grapples with gun violence. I mean, banning bump stocks ain't gonna help with the country's issues with gun violence. All that's gonna do is just further take away the rights of law-abiding citizens. This is why you have states now where you could just conceal carry with no permit because the criminals are already doing it and they don't really care about laws. So why punish the law-abiding people and put them in a more vulnerable situation? Doesn't make any sense, does it? Okay, now let's keep on going here. Sonia Sotomayor filed a dissent. Of course, you have Elena Kagan and Ketanji Brown Jackson. Listen, what if we had a whole Supreme Court full of them? I mean, when I say them, I mean liberal people. If there was a whole court full of them, we'd be in a world of trouble right now. A world of trouble. Now, let's keep on going here. Now, the challenger was Michael Cargill, a gun shop owner in Texas, backed by the new Civil Liberties Alliance, an advocacy group with financial ties to the Koch brothers, blah, 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 blah. Now, let's hear from Michael Cargill right quick because we have him. He has given his 2 cents about the decision. Shout out to him. He is the guy that's going to be on the paperwork. I think it said something like Garland versus Cargill, meaning Merrick Garland, the Attorney General. And guess who won? Guess who lost?
Breaking news. I did it. Michael Cargill versus Merrick Garland. The Department of Justice, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the bump stock lawsuit. I beat him in the United States Supreme Court. I was told over 5 years ago, why are you going down this road? No one cares about bump stocks. Let's go ahead and let them take the bump stock. But instead, I stood and fought. And because of this, the bump stock case is going to be the case that saves everything. It's going to stop the ATF from coming after the brace, the triggers, all different parts and pieces that they're trying to ban. And I'm glad I stood up and fought. So now we have a case that is case law that we can move forward around this country and defend our Second Amendment rights. As always, more guns equals less crime. You go out there and you buy yourself a gun. Better yet, get yourself a bump stock.
There we go. So shout out to my main man, Michael Cargill, for just going forward with it, and everybody that backed him, all of us for backing them if you did. Shout out to everybody out there. So that's what's happening now. Do I have a little bit more here? Let's watch a little bit of this from NBC News and see their reaction.
We're coming on the air with some breaking news from the Supreme Court that could impact gun laws nationwide. The High Court has just ruled on a ban on so-called bump stock devices. Those are those gadgets that attach to semi-automatic firearms and allow them to fire faster without more pulls on the trigger. The ban, as you might recall, was imposed by the Trump administration after the 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas when that shooter used firearms.
It's a reactionary thing. It's like, okay, we got this big event that happens, you know, they're shooting up a country concert. Okay, what are we going to do? Find something to blame and ban it and move on. That's what they did.
Equipped with those bump stocks to kill 58 people and injure 500 more at an outdoor concert. At issue in this case was whether using a bump stock accessory actually converts the weapon into a machine gun. Machine guns are weapons with strict regulations throughout this country. There's a lot to unpack right now. Let's bring in our senior legal correspondent, Laura Jarrett, to walk us through the decision. Our chief White House correspondent, Peter Alexander, also with us to talk about potential political implications here. At the heart of this case, essentially, the mechanism of the bump stock itself and potential implications for owners as well. This was a 6-3 decision.
Yeah, it split along ideological lines, familiar ideological lines, with Justice Thomas writing for the majority, the conservative court here. It's an interesting rule here. This was the Biden administration, the Biden Justice Department, defending a rule that had been done under the Trump administration. As you mentioned, in the wake of the Vegas shooting, the most deadly mass shooting still in the modern history. And essentially, because the bump stock, the accessory that makes it easier to fire, doesn't meet the definition of a machine gun, it means they exceeded their authority. Now, it doesn't mean Congress couldn't come along and pass a different federal law, but it's not for the ATF, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, to do by itself. And therefore, the rule will be thrown out. And so gun users will be able to use bump stocks from now on.
Once you have one thing, and that's kind of like the gateway to do other things. Okay, now we have this ban. All right, let's go ahead and ban that and this and that and this. But once you don't have it, now those other things kind of get framed differently or just put on hold altogether. So that's pretty much that on that. There's more, but I'll link to that in the box. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to all the gun owners out there. Shout out to all the bump stock owners out there. This is a great day for us because they're going to use whatever they can to get to their ultimate goal, which is to have no more Second Amendment, no more gun rights in this country. And if they got to do it little by little, death by 1,000 cuts, then they will. It's up to us to put a stop to that way before they get to their ultimate goal. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on the whole bump stock kerfuffle? Is it a big deal, not a big deal? Do you care? Do you not care? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think this is a great day for all gun owners. A great day for the rule of law, really, because a bump stock, that's a machine gun. Really, I think that's stretching it. Can it help you increase the rate of fire? Yeah, sure, of course. But it's not a machine gun. It's not a machine gun accessory. It's just as simple as that, and we see it right here. But unfortunately, although we have a good outcome, you still have the 3 ideological differences. I don't know what they're basing their opinion on. I don't really get it. Either the ATF had the ability to do that or they didn't. I don't know why they think that they had the ability to do that. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.